So let's just, very quickly go through some of these right-wing memes, the bizarre thinking that these right-wingers have. And then, okay. Fast and Furious, okay? There was a program during the Bush administration. What they knew was that Arizona had a law that said that anybody could buy as many rifles as they want from a gun store in Arizona with no restrictions whatsoever, as long as they say that it's for their own personal use. Now, under Arizona law, you can also, once you walk outside the store with 50 guns in a couple of boxes that you're carrying, as soon as you walk out of the store, you can decide, I don't really want these guns, but there's a guy standing right here with a pickup truck, and he wants to buy them, so I think I'll just sell them to him. And because of this bizarre law in Arizona law, put there presumably by the NRA, all of these guns out of legal stores, good brand new high-end guns, were being smuggled down to Mexico. So during the Bush administration, they said, let's start tracking some of these suckers. We'll put some trackers in these. We'll write down all the serial numbers of the guns, and whenever possible, we'll put a little GPS device in the box, and let's just see where these guns go. When the Obama administration came in, they kept the program going. They renamed it Fast and Furious, and, they tracked down some of the guns, and they found some of the bad guys. But in the meantime, a couple of people in Mexico, including a law enforcement officer, were killed with these guns, and so now it's a scandal, right? Or is it? But you say Fast and Furious, conservatives go, oh, yeah. IRS, oh, yeah. No, there's no scandal there. Benghazi, there's no scandal there. Global warming, they're saying, I'm not a scientist. You talk about any kind of programs that might help the middle class, the lower middle class, or genuinely poor people in the United States. Most conservatives will tell you they are these said poor people on unemployment, people on food stamps, people getting any kind of benefits, people getting Social Security disability, whatever it may be. If they're not working, 50, 60, 70 hours a day, they are lazy. And if they're getting government benefits, in the minds of mostly white middle-class American conservatives, if they're getting government benefits, they're probably also people of color. And so let's drug test them all. They believe in trickle-down economics. They believe there's no such thing as a homeless vet. About somewhere between a third and 40% of our homeless population are actually homeless vets. They believe that Mexicans in the United States who are here without documentation are voting in huge numbers in our elections. No, it ain't happening. They believe on something called black-on-black violence, but they don't understand white-on-white violence. They say that Democrats are weak on war, and yet they do things that hurt our military. Dick Cheney outed a CIA officer and brought down an entire CIA operation, might have led to the deaths of dozens of people around the world, certainly crippled our intelligence capability when he went after Valerie Plame. And George W. Bush started 2 wars that are going to cost us $3 trillion each and have devastated an entire part of the world and ruined our credibility. But they say that Democrats don't know how to do war. Democrats won World War I and World War II. Thank you very much. They say that Democrats are bad for the deficit, but every single Democratic president since FDR has done better on the deficit than any of the Republican presidents. Every Republican president has outspent the Democrats in terms of, or out increased the federal deficit. And beyond that, the federal deficit isn't that big a deal anyway. We are not a family. We're a country. In a family, if you spend less money, you save more, and it benefits you. In a country, if half the country spends less money, or let's say 20% of the country spends less money, that would be called the government sector, then a lot of people lose their jobs because everybody's spending money in that 20%. They're going to use that money to stimulate, to create demand. They're going to go out and buy things, which creates jobs for the other 80%. So this family metaphor is stupid. And then they say, oh, yeah, and by the way, rich people and large corporations, they're job creators. No such thing. I mean, the job creators are people who spend 100% of their income, which is about 70% of the American workforce. About 40% of whom are living in poverty because of our obscene low wages, because we've let our minimum wage drop from $10.25 an hour, and inflation and adjusted dollars, that's where it was in 1968, down to $7.25, where it is right now. That's wrong.